One of the most memorable things that happened in barbecue, where we had never competed any or anything, and so we decided we'd go to Dyersburg to a contest.
Tennessee.
Dyersburg, Tennessee. And it was out in an open field. And we pulled up, we had the cooker, and that's it. We thought people just came by the cooker and tasted your samples and went on. We didn't know anything about Memphis in May. That's what it was a Memphis in May.
Didn't even have a favorite place.
So I kept watching the other ones, the other contestants, and seeing they were putting up tents and seeing they were putting up tables. And I looked around and I said, we're in the wrong place, I do believe. And so it so happened one of our friends was with Averett Express, and they had a terminal there. We went to the manager's house, got her dining room table, her dining room buffet. We got her china, and went to the funeral home and got green grass. And within 6 hours, we had that place laid out like it's supposed to be, and we ended up winning Best of Show. So.
Do all three meets that year?
Mm-hmm.
No, we were just doing ribs.
Just ribs.
Oh, was it just ribs? That was my first one. Now, I was still teaching, so really in the barbecue, it's just been in the last 9 years, I guess, that I've really gotten enthused and involved. Tony's been in it for a long time, but I always had to work on Friday, being a teacher. So I didn't get to go to the different contests. And I had a hard time putting names and faces together, because the only time I'd see them was at our Cookville cook-off. Then I didn't see them, for another year.
And there's only one or two at the cook-off.
Yeah. So, just one or two to remember among many. So then when I retired, I started thinking I needed to go with him, because we need to have something in common in our old age. So I started, and it's just been the most wonderful experience we've ever had. Well, I've just found a complete new, wonderful family. They compete very seriously. They're very fiercely competitive. But if they don't win, they're so glad you did. And they're caring, and I've just never been in a group that was any more caring than the barbecue group. They really care about other people.
When did turn-in table staff?
When did that start? Well, let's see. That started in Lebanon, Tennessee. They were talking about the turn-in table, and some of the girls were kidding about the initials for turn-in table. And I looked around at them and I said, well, girls, y'all are all on the losing battle on that. And they said, yeah, you're the queen one, we can tell by looking. So the one thing led to another, and they started calling me Queen Mother, and they got me badges and crowns, and they've had a good time out of kidding me about that. In fact, I got some flowers today from some of my girlfriends, and said, to the barbecue queen. So they've all just made just some very lasting, loving friendships. I've really enjoyed it. And I tell you, another thing that really impresses me about the barbecue is it doesn't matter if you're the CEO or you're the janitor. When you're there, you're a person. And that's what they look at. They don't look at what you do, professionally, or they look at you as a person. And I think that's unusual that people do that. Mm-hmm. But they really do. I really have just enjoyed that more, I guess, than anything. Even though I don't judge, I'll do the turn in or that sort of thing. I call myself a barbecue groupie. I just kind of follow the crowd. So, hope I can for more years.
Sure you will.
Oh, I will. I will. We're getting ready to have this one tomorrow, and hope everybody can come and have a good time.
How do you remember when it started?
We've had the contest for 20. And my daughter was with Cityscape, which is a beautification of Cookeville. And she started a fall fun fest. And Tony had already been doing the Cookeville cook-off. So after the first year that she did that, they decided they'd combine the cook-off with the fall fun fest. And
Moved off campus.
that's when we moved off campus and moved downtown. And it's been there ever since. So I would say 15 years.